Hello everyone, Lytro Storm here, and today we are going to be doing a power scaling video. Now if you guys watch my friend Tyler's channel, he has recently done a video called What If Goku Transformed into the Legendary Super Saiyan? And he had actually not known how strong Legendary Super Saiyan was, and he wanted his viewers to vote, but I decided that it would probably be best for him to just go with the most logical answer, because viewers aren't necessarily always, gonna agree on what is what. And that's very apparent when you see comments like, oh, it should be 70 times, oh, it should be 2,000 times, oh, it should be stronger than 2,000, like, you see all those conflicting viewpoints. But today we're going to be cracking down on how strong Legendary Super Saiyan is. Now, we're not going to be talking about how strong Broly is, or who could Broly beat up, what could Broly destroy, no. This is how strong is the form, what is the multiplier of Legendary Super Saiyan. And by the way, we are talking about Dragon Ball Z Broly, not Dragon Ball Super Broly. But anyway, now that we have that out of the way, and you guys know that I'm scaling Z Broly's transformation, we can get right into it. But first, as always, be sure to join my Discord and follow me on Twitter. Links in the description. Okay, so Legendary Super Saiyan is quite the interesting transformation. In the first movie, we don't really get any concrete scaling on it. All we really get is, well, base Goku is stronger than base Broly because he's able to dodge his attacks and then kick him in the teeth and like make him bleed and stuff. And then Goku goes Super Saiyan, Gohan goes Super Saiyan, Trunks goes Super Saiyan, Vegeta goes Super Saiyan, and then Piccolo joins in, and Broly is still one-shotting them in Legendary Super Saiyan form. However, teamwork is kind of unquantifiable in Dragon Ball, as you have Jason Birder versus Goku, in which Goku one-shots both of them at the same time. So you can't add their power levels together because that would make them like at least 80,000, because they're both scaling to Recoome, and Recoome is around 40,000. So Goku was only 90,000, so if that was true, then he would only be 12% stronger. And you might think, okay, well, you only need like a 10% difference then, right? Well, no, because in the Android saga, there's this interesting moment where Android 18 one-shots Vegeta as a Super Saiyan, and then Trunks goes Super Saiyan and teams up with Piccolo, Tenshinhan, Krillin, Yamcha, and Gohan. And 17 is like, oh, 18 might lose, even though all these characters aren't even as strong as Super Saiyan Vegeta, and 17 still believes that 18 might actually lose to them. So it's very unquantifiable, as you have all these way weaker fighters still probably being able to beat 18. However, in the second movie is when the scaling really starts cracking down. It becomes much more apparent in the second movie what the multiplier could be. Now, if you read Tyler's community tab post, you'll notice that he says that it should be 10,000, and that's based on the rough scaling I gave him. And it's also extremely lowballed, as he even admitted. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get to that multiplier, and then also go through the Super Saiyan grade multipliers to find the most accurate Legendary Super Saiyan transformation multiplier. Alright, so let's get into this. So, in Broly Second Coming, here is the scaling that we're provided with. You have Gohan, in his base form, taking on regular Super Saiyan Broly, not Legendary, just regular. He takes him on, and the two are actually going at it evenly, right? They're both swapping hands, swapping kicks, stuff like that. Okay, well then Gohan goes Super Saiyan 2, and yes, it is Super Saiyan 2, it's actually confirmed by one of the guides or one of the drawings, I can't remember, but I will try to post it on screen. But yes, it is Super Saiyan 2, Gohan, even though there's no sparks and stuff. And even if I can't find this, why would Gohan only go like regular Super Saiyan, or like Mastered Super Saiyan? That wouldn't make any sense when he has been training the whole time, which I'll post the scan on that on screen as well. So the most logical scenario is that it is Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and they just probably forgot like the lightning or whatever. But anyway, so Gohan goes Super Saiyan 2, and Broly goes Legendary Super Saiyan. And Broly just completely dominates Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He tanks hits from him, he dodges hits from him, he completely owns him with every hit that he lands. It just isn't even a competition. So what we can get from that is, let's use the lowballed Super Saiyan multipliers, right? Let's say Super Saiyan grade 1 is 50 and Mastered Super Saiyan is also 50, and then we'll just have Super Saiyan 2 at 100, right? So that's the absolute low ball, and then we'll get into the grade multipliers as we go. So that would put base Broly at a 1, and then Super Saiyan Broly at a 50, and then remember that base Gohan equaled out with Super Saiyan Broly. Okay, well now Gohan is going Super Saiyan 2, so he's going to get that lowballed 100 times on top of his 50 base, which will put him at 5,000. And then you have Legendary Super Saiyan Broly easily dominating him there. Like I said, he tanked attacks easily and then, was bodying Gohan throughout the whole fight. So we can put Legendary Super Saiyan Broly twice Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. And so that would make it 10,000. So the Legendary Super Saiyan multiplier is at absolute bare minimum 10,000 times. But now let's get into the more logical multiplier, where we go through the grades of Super Saiyan. So firstly, you have Super Saiyan Grade 1. That is a 50 times. That's irrefutable. It's stated in the Daizenshu. It's stated in the Super Exciting Guide. Okay, moving on. And here's where it gets interesting. So, Super Saiyan Vegeta arrives to fight Semi-Perfect Cell. And when this happens, Cell is completely confident that he can beat Vegeta, even though he's already transformed into a Super Saiyan. So we can put base Vegeta at a 1 and Super Saiyan Vegeta at a 50. This would also make Cell a 50. At bare minimum, if you just assume that he thinks his techniques are enough to win. So then you have Grade 2 Vegeta easily one-shotting Cell, tanking hits from him like the Gallic Gun in the anime, and dodging him and just completely obliterating him, right? Like one-shotting him every time. So that would put him at least double Semi-Perfect Cell, which would make him a 100. So that means that Grade 2 is at bare minimum 100 times base. So then you have Grade 3, and this is where our friend the El Manga Legendario comes into play. Now the El Manga Legendario states that Super Saiyan Grade 3 Trunks is either 10 times Grade 2 Vegeta, or Super Saiyan Grade 3 is 10 times Grade 2. So we're just going to go with Super Saiyan Grade 3 is 10 times Grade 2. Since if we go with Grade 3 Trunks being 10 times Grade 2 Vegeta, that would kind of make it a lot more, because Vegeta's base was already above Trunks's. So now we can take our 100 times multiplier of Super Saiyan Grade 2 and amplify it by 10 for Super Saiyan Grade 3. And of course, this multiplier only applies to the power. Now we've got that, and now it's time to figure out Mastered Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Grade 4. Well, right off the bat, we have a guide that says that Goku and Gohan surpassed their previous limits by going Grade 4. And we know from the time chamber scenes that Goku had achieved Grade 3, which means that Grade 4 needs to be somewhat stronger than Grade 3. You also have things like, well, if Grade 4 is equal to Grade 1, you would have to have Gohan and Goku getting several times stronger from the training in the time chamber than what Vegeta and Trunks did. But on screen will basically be the multipliers of Vegeta and Trunks and then Goku and Gohan, roughly, if you use Grade 4 being equal to Grade 1. And so you'll see just a massive difference and massive change that wouldn't really make sense, because like, why would they just get that much stronger? That doesn't make any sense. So here's what we will go ahead and do. We will just say that Grade 3 and Grade 4 are equal just to lowball. So that would put Grade 4 at 1,000 times base, which would mean that Super Saiyan 2 is twice that at 2,000. So now we can go back through our scaling for the Legendary Super Saiyan transformation. Alright, so Broly is still going to stay a 1 in base, and a 50 as a Super Saiyan, because he never implied to have mastered it. So he's just going to stick with the Grade 1 multiplier. However, now Gohan has a 2,000 times multiplier upon his base of 50, which would make 100,000. And remember that Broly one-shots him easily and tanks attacks from him, as I've already stated several times. So that would make Legendary Super Saiyan Broly at least twice as strong as Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, which would make the Legendary Super Saiyan transformation, drumroll please, 200,000 times base. That is an insane multiplier, and even if you go through Super Saiyan 3 with the multipliers I've set up for Grade 4, it would only be 8,000, because you have to multiply the 2,000 of Super Saiyan 2 by 4. So that just shows you just how much bigger and stronger Legendary Super Saiyan is than any of the Super Saiyan transformations. Well, minus the God forms, obviously, and probably Super Saiyan 4, but I don't feel like scaling that here. So yeah, based on this scaling, we found that Legendary Super Saiyan is anywhere from a massively lowballed 10,000 to a decently lowballed 200,000 times base. But yeah guys, I hope you found this interesting and kind of enlightening on the power of Legendary Super Saiyan. It's definitely not to be scoffed at. It completely surpasses Super Saiyan 3, no matter which way you take it. If you take the 10,000 or the 200,000, it still far surpasses Super Saiyan 3. And so, yeah, it was fun to kind of put this together, and hopefully it's interesting enough for you guys to watch and share it with some friends. It was obviously fun to help out Tyler with some of the scaling because, he's a pretty cool guy. And I'll probably leave a link to him in the description, so you guys should definitely go watch some of his what ifs. But as always, like the video if you enjoyed, comment your requests for future videos, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.